In today's news, I'm sure that you're perfectly aware of who Nathaniel Rothschild is, but for those of you who aren't, the Rothschild family is the most famous of the European banking dynasties and one of the most powerful and wealthy bloodlines in the world. Their influence extended to every corner of the world, shaping the destinies of nations from the shadows, which actually sounds very similar to how Ripple have conducted their business. But the Rothschilds are not just bankers. If they want something to happen, it will. They control the way the world functions. And in this post here from Edward Farina, he showcases proof of Nathaniel Rothschild's connection to XRP and him explicitly warning you of their revolution. And it seems that he also knew we would see a rise in power in different sections of the world, particularly in the eastern part of the world, the collapse of the current financial system and the rise, therefore, of the Brics nations. This first image showcases Edmund de Rothschild's fund, which mentions XRP and SBI Holdings as key contributors. Now, SBI owns an 8.7% stake in Ripple's XRP, and in 2019, coincidentally just a few months after the SEC filed their lawsuits against Ripple, Rothschild's fund tripled their investment in SBI. Also remember, as important to note, that the CEO of SBI Holdings publicly stated in front of the whole world that every bank in Japan will use XRP by 2025. And if he has the backing of the Rothschild family, then safe to say that this is what is going to happen. Now, apparently back in 2020, Nathaniel Rothschild frequently issued multiple warnings, like the next crisis will hit you during your sleep. It will happen lightning fast. Markets are deep faked, so buy gold and silver. Furthermore, we are going to see the collapse of the international monetary system, meaning the collapse in confidence in paper currencies all around the world, not just the dollar, absolutely everything. And cyber attacks are planned in NATO countries. But then we could also see he frequently discussed XRP. Just bought a ton of XRP. You will all be forced to use XRP directly or indirectly. Or arguably the most important post here, when the bottom is in, many exchanges are closed or the spread is so massive that you will miss the opportunity to buy cheap XRP because they are against retail. Remember, XRP is meant for institutions. However, the original account user, as we can see here, apparently in the words of Edward Farina, one that had thousands of followers and was well known within the XRP community, just disappeared, replaced with a fake account which joined last year with limited followers and only 16 tweets, seemingly in an attempt to erase all the evidence. Edward Farina says he saved the evidence, saved the screenshots which we have just seen, and should this all be true, this of course is very big deal, very bullish news for XRP. Evidently Rothschild was very bullish on XRP, and with their partnership with the East, with Japan, with FBI, Rothschild was prepared for this shift in the monetary system, which would take place in a different section of the world. And considering Rothschild knew the collapse of paper currency was inevitable, the rise of a new system with XRP without SWIFT is also inevitable as well. And what is it that the Brics nations are doing right now? As confirmed in this interview, they don't need to use the SWIFT system. They are creating a new one that has already successfully tested XRP. Take a listen.
What the Brics nations are doing is saying, well, we don't need to use the SWIFT system because we don't want to be subjected again to U.S. sanctions, because if the U.S. is sanctioning you, you can't move money using that SWIFT system. So what's really interesting is, number one, they're creating a payment system that would go around SWIFT. But how do you do that when you have 5 major countries that all have their own currencies? And one of the ways they're doing that is by using possibly cryptocurrency to do that. That would translate their currencies into a single cryptocurrency that is then used through the system and then formulated, I guess, when it gets into their country, back into their own personal currency.
They're trying to get out from under dollar hegemony, and that's going to happen.
And then there goes the power of the U.S. to impose these sanctions, right?
Correct, because if you, first of all, they're all building alternate payment systems. Even the German foreign minister the other day said Europe needs an alternate payment system. They could do cryptocurrencies. I'm not saying buy Bitcoin. Again, this whole alternate system, it's being created now. This is not science fiction, but it could affect the dollar very rapidly.
Now, of course, this is becoming increasingly more bullish, more important as the BRICS nations continue to expand their alliance, with over 40 countries apparently wishing to join. The increasing numbers from 10 currently up to 50 could be a part of the BRICS nations in the very, very near future. We can see here from BRICS News that President Vladimir Putin meets with the President of the Republic of Congo in Russia, which is massive news. This revolution with the BRICS nations and with XRP was all pre-planned years ago, and as we can see from the Black Swan Capitalist here, we spoke to real Rick Rule about the evolution of the monetary system and financial institutions like the World Gold Council, the Bank of International Settlements, and the International Monetary Fund's interest in distributed ledger technology. Interestingly, they've all partnered with Ripple and XLM Stellar, advocated for XRP and XLM. Take a listen.
What are your thoughts on Ripple and the digital asset XRP?
I'm fascinated with the application of blockchain technology in the financialization of all markets. I can confirm firsthand that the World Gold Council and the Royal Canadian Mint are similarly fascinated.
Yeah.
And the idea that you could have a digital token that represented physical gold could be exchanged for physical gold, but could enjoy lower denomination, more liquidity, and less transaction cost is, I think, a reality in the not very distant future. Whether or not XRP is the technology that is going to be adopted. I similarly have noted in the quarterly from the Bank for International Settlements, to which I subscribe, their own interest in XRP. And it was interesting for me to hear it from younger, smarter people than I, like you. And I wouldn't want to comment on the technology because that's not what I do. I'm a lender. The idea that we will soon have a gold token, well, hopefully we'll have 4 or 5 so that they can compete with each other. I think it's both inevitable and I think it's imminent.
So it is pretty evident, at least in my opinion, that XRP was intended for institutions, that it's intended to be worth thousands of dollars as a bridge currency for CBDCs to help tokenize the world, to change the monetary system. Hence why Ripple and XRP joined the ISDA, standing shoulder to shoulder with financial titans, and has direct access to the $1.2 quadrillion derivatives market. Ripple offers an online payment solution that moves real value. Check the link in the description for yourself if you want to check this out, but all the signs are there. The XRP's revolution, it is almost upon us, likely going to be happening and properly starting next year, 2025, but there have been signs going to happen this year as well. And as we can see in this post here, this chart from Smoke, it highlights why the United States are lucky and desperately need Ripple and XRP. This chart showcases the presence of the US among internet companies versus the current presence of the US among blockchain protocols. Evidently, the US dominates still the Web 2 market, the internet companies' market cap, with Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Netflix, and so on and so forth. They completely dominate the Web 2. But it is massively lagging behind in the Web 3 protocol, the blockchain protocols, and it needs to catch up. XRP's position, as we can see, is the key to pushing US crypto influence in a predominantly global market. Here it's mainly just US and China, but here it is borderline worldwide. And just like how Alphabet and Amazon revolutionized digital connectivity and commerce, XRP is poised to transform the financial system and digital transactions, just like Rothschild predicted. Read between the lines and please follow the money if you don't want to miss out on this money making opportunity. There's a reason why Ripple is at the center of all these developments happening all around the world with this new monetary system. Not Ethereum, not Bitcoin, not USDT, XRP, and assets like them, XLM Stellar, and also HBAR as well, the real world utility tokens. They are the ones that are going to drive this shift. But XRP is poised for the biggest adoption. Do your own research and don't look short term, think long term, and I'll see you in the next one.